guys, today I'll be showing you how to build a computer, a gaming PC. What you'll need is a PC case, a motherboard, a power supply, a graphics card, memory or RAM, a CPU, a CPU cooler, and a solid state drive or any type of hard drive. First, you'll want to take out the case out of your box and leave it on your desk. Next, you want to put the power supply, screw the power supply into your computer case. You want to screw in a cross pattern to apply even pressure. This is what is on the motherboard. Now we are going to be installing the CPU. So you want to notice that there is a golden arrow on the corner of the CPU. Next, you want to lift up the lever on the CPU socket so that the CPU socket is completely exposed. Next, you want to line the corner of the golden dot with the golden arrow with the arrow on the CPU socket, and you want to drop the CPU in place. Next, you want to close the lever and push pretty hard. Now we are going to be installing the RAM. To install the RAM, you want to notice that there's a notch on the bottom, and you want to notice that there's a notch on the RAM socket, and you want to line that up. And then you want to put the RAM in the RAM socket, and push down hard to lock it in place. You want to do that for as many sticks as you want. 6 of RAM as you want. Now we're going to be installing an M.2 SSD, an NVMe drive. So you want to push it into the M.2 slot on the motherboard. And you want to grab the screw that came with the SSD. And you want to screw it in place. Now we are going to be installing the now we're going to be installing the motherboard into the case. What you want to do is you want to grab the screws that came with the motherboard and the case, and you want to screw the motherboard in place. Now we are going to be installing the CPU cooler. So what you want to do is you want to grab a thermal compound or thermal paste, and you want to apply a generous amount to the CPU, about a pea size. I put a bit too much on my CPU. Now you want to grab the CPU cooler and put it right the proper side up, and you want to drop it in place onto the bracket. Now you want to screw it down with the nuts that came with the CPU cooler. Again, you should be doing a cross pattern so it applies even pressure. And you don't want to screw it in too tight, or else you might break something. After you're done installing the CPU cooler, you want to install the graphics card. Push the graphics card, slot the graphics card into the PCIe slot at the back of the case and also at the front. And you want to push until you hear a click. Now you want to grab the screws that came with the GPU and you want to screw it in place. Not too tight, or else you might break the threads on the screw. Now you want to plug in the power into the GPU with the 12-pin power connectors, two of them. You want to push each one individually in until you hear a small click. And now you guys are pretty much all done. All you have to do is plug in the 24 plus 4-pin power connector into the motherboard, same with the 8-pin CPU connector that I forgot to show in the video, and install your operating system, Windows, Linux, Chrome OS, Mac OS, and that's it. You're done. And pop the side panels back on, and you're done.